Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most bizarre and covert operations of the Cold War, Operation Washtub. This secret mission, launched by U.S. intelligence in the 1950s, involved a mix of espionage, propaganda, and psychological manipulation. What made Operation Washtub particularly dirty was its goal to fabricate evidence of Soviet infiltration in Central America to justify American intervention. From planting fake documents to creating false narratives, this operation blurred the line between truth and deception. Let's dive into the details of this clandestine mission and uncover its lasting impact on history. What was Operation Washtub? Operation Washtub was a covert plan orchestrated by the United States to plant false evidence suggesting that the Soviet Union was establishing a presence in Central America. Specifically, the operation aimed to create the illusion that Soviet agents were using Guatemala as a base for communist expansion in the Western Hemisphere. This was during a time of intense Cold War paranoia, when the U.S. government was determined to curb any perceived spread of communism, especially in its backyard. By manufacturing a Soviet threat, Operation Washtub sought to rationalize potential military intervention and sway public opinion in favor of U.S. foreign policies. Dirty tactics used in Operation Washtub. Planting fake evidence. The operation relied on creating forged Soviet documents and paraphernalia that were discovered in Guatemala. This included maps, letters, and instructions that were carefully fabricated to appear authentic and incriminate the Soviet Union. Spreading false narratives. To make the fake evidence more convincing, the operation involved spreading disinformation through local media outlets and diplomatic channels. These narratives painted Guatemala as a hub for Soviet activity, playing on Cold War fears. Exploiting political tensions. Operation Washtub leveraged existing tensions in Central America, including fears of communist uprisings and dissatisfaction with local governments, to amplify the perceived threat and pressure neighboring nations to align with U.S. interests. Justifying intervention. By creating a fabricated Soviet presence, the operation sought to legitimize U.S. intervention under the guise of protecting the Western Hemisphere from communism. This tactic blurred the line between preemptive action and outright manipulation. Why it's considered dirty. Operation Washtub was a textbook example of deception and propaganda used to manipulate global perceptions. By fabricating a Soviet threat, the U.S. government risked escalating tensions unnecessarily and undermined trust in its actions. The operation also disrespected the sovereignty of Guatemala and other nations in the region, using them as pawns in a larger geopolitical game. Additionally, these tactics set a dangerous precedent for manufacturing threats to justify intervention. Impact and consequences. While Operation Washtub itself didn't lead to a full-blown crisis, it contributed to the destabilization of Guatemala and reinforced suspicions between the U.S. and Latin American nations. This operation also fed into the broader strategy of Cold War propaganda, where disinformation was a key tool in shaping global narratives. More broadly, the exposure of operations like Washtub in later years eroded trust in intelligence agencies and highlighted the risks of relying on false pretenses to achieve political objectives. Legacy and lessons. Operation Washtub serves as a reminder of the lengths governments will go to protect their geopolitical interests. It also underscores the importance of accountability and transparency in intelligence operations. Fabricated evidence and disinformation can have far-reaching consequences, sowing mistrust and destabilizing regions for years to come. Operation Washtub is a stark example of how far nations will go in the pursuit of power and control. Though it was shrouded in secrecy, its legacy reminds us of the importance of questioning narratives and holding governments accountable for their actions. If you enjoyed this deep dive into covert Cold War operations, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories from history. Let us know in the comments what operations you'd like us to uncover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.